Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, stereo friends from all over the world. I'm very happy about the invitation of NIRC to introduce the International Stereoscopic Union, and it is the only stereoscopic union in the world where you can meet in person and you can have activities together. And I'm very proud to be the president of this union until September, when Česky Krumlov, the next congress, will take place. Then the vice president, Hiroyuki Nakamura, will take over. He is from Japan and he is a professor of a university, because the next Congress after Česky Krumlov will be in Japan. Well, let me go and tell you about my club, please. The section stereo, it is called. I was very happy when I started with stereo photography in 1995 that I had a club around, and the members, they told me all about how to make a stereo photos. They told me the rules and they told me my mistakes, of course. And now I would like to talk about the history a little bit. The Stereo Club in Austria is from 1928. So we had our 90-year festival 4 years ago. It was founded then, but of course because of the World War it was dissolved. There was another stereo society, and after the World War, of course, the Austrian Society of Stereoscopy was founded again. They had a very nice and good years. The 50s were very successful with many international exhibitions together with friends in the States and all over Europe and all over the world. But then it was a bad time came along and they had to be incorporated to the Photographische Gesellschaft in Wien, what was not a bad move because they are one of the oldest European photographic societies. They were founded in 1861. We celebrated the 90 years festival we had a big festival, and many friends from all over Europe were here, and I saw some of them today in the list. They are watching here, and many thanks for coming from Germany, Switzerland, Netherlands, Sweden even, Italy, Slovenia, Slovakia, and we had a keynote speaker, a very famous one, Denis Bellerin. You know him probably of one of his famous speeches, and he did one of his history of stereoscopy speeches in Austria. And we owe quite a lot to our supporter, to Dr. Brian May, who always was so nice to give us some the possibility to show also his video, his famous video, History of Stereoscopy. Now I came to the activities, and the activities I just want to mention shortly. Of course, we couldn't meet in person. There was a lot of problems, but what we did, we installed an online gallery, which we didn't have before, a monthly online gallery, and we did one thing which we followed again. We organized the International 3D Photo Contest Vienna, and in 21 it was the 10th one, and now this year we will have the 11th one. The International Stereoscopic, the International 3D Photo Contest, which you find in the next page. You see the next page. You see the photos of the winners and you see the photos of the jury. It is an international jury. You see here the president of the Swiss club. You see one of the technical advisors of the German club, and some Austrian very famous photographers who do the judging. And for next year, on the next page, David, you will see yourself with a black face. I don't know if you remember, but you have taken part and you have received a certificate and a medal. This is the things which we do. The winners get a class medal. The certificate was given to the 15 best images, and if you would like to participate, you are very much invited. The closing date is the 1st of April, and on our homepage you will find all the rules. But let me come back to the ISU, because actually I wanted to have such a contest for the ISU also, but I couldn't find young people to just make all the organization, and I feel myself a little bit too old now for the next few years to do this job. But coming back to the ISU now, it was several very enthusiastic people who came together in 1975 in the Netherlands, in Wageningen, and they founded the ISU. It was people from Germany, Netherlands, States, British people, and they said they wanted to promote the stereoscopy worldwide, and they want to coordinate worldwide activities, encourage the international cooperation, and they wanted to also create a network of friendship. And this is what this really is, not only exchanging technical and art aspects, but also to find some friends in other parts of the world. We have the highlights of the ISU activities, and they have changed a little bit since the beginning. Like the quarterly journal Stereoscopy exists already relatively long, and a biennial congress was done also 22 times up till now. But the ISU club folio, analog folio and digital club folio to exchange images, they were only recently, and you can imagine it was very hard when like for instance 15 clubs sent in 10 slides each, and then the 10 slides by 15, the 150 is 3 boxes, were sent all over the world from one to the other. Sometimes it took 2 years to get the images back home. So we are very happy about the digital technology now. Networking is one of the main activities, and the board of directors elected by the council and the clubs, they manage the club. And now I want to introduce you to some people of the ISU. I start with Stereoscopy. The current editor of Stereoscopy is George Demelis. Most of the people perhaps know him. He is also known under the name Dr. T, and he is a fabulous editor and makes a wonderful stereoscopy journal. It is very important that we have the information about the projects and the technology sent to all members. And I didn't see George Demelis here in the auditor, but I have seen David Kuntz. He also was an editor of the before George Demelis, and I hope you had fun, David. Yes, we had 22nd ISU congresses since 1975, 4 times in the States, 1 in Australia. The Australian was very under a bad star, as we say in German, because it was taking place on the 13th of September 2001, which was just 2 days after 9/11. You can imagine that not many people could take part participate. They were all somewhere struggling to fly in or fly out. One we had in South Korea and 16 in Europe. My first congress was 1997 in the Netherlands, and since then I had almost all I have been there. Let's come to the congress activity. What does that mean, an ISU congress? Well, you see shows presented on a big screen. I remember very much, and it was excited to see the first bee on a big screen, you know, a bee 4 meters wide and in all stereoscopic details. This was really fun, and I have to say I was very afraid of spiders, and I saw a lot of spiders because the stereoscopic people, they tend to bring in the eyes of a spider and every hair and every leg, but I think I got rid of my anaphobia, which I usually wish I had before. It was very interesting. In the Netherlands, I saw a video of a heart transplantation in 3D. A video made in analog technology. I don't know if you can imagine how impressed I was, but it was really something. And so in the ISE congresses you always see something extraordinary. Somebody comes along with extraordinary technology or extraordinary art. It is always so exciting to meet these people. You have workshops and lectures also, and a trade fair, very important. Companies also could take part, and they showed their equipment, but also the members can show what they have done. It doesn't. Stereoscopic rigs are not so common. You have to make them yourself, so you can exchange how to make them. And you have, of course, social things, like you have trips, sightseeing trips, events, you have a congress dinner, and sometimes even exhibition and image contests. I have several examples now about congresses. In 1993 in Eastbourne I was not there, but I found some images from the former president of my club. I do not know what they had to celebrate, but they have a birthday cake. You see it on the left corner. A birthday cake, a huge birthday cake. Somebody must have happened, very exciting. I do not know what it was.
It was the 100th anniversary of the Stereoscopic Society. I was there.
Oh, super. Thank you, David. Exciting. And you see the equipment which is necessary to set up all this, and is always very exciting, and seeing this and how the people cope with all this technology. You can see here some famous people also on the right hand corner, like Susan Pinsky and the Australian chap. And Kerkarade, you see here also, you have to be prepared for all the different kind of technology. So the organizers, they do always a super job. In Boise, Idaho, it was very nice because, next please, because they had a big exhibition, an exhibition on anaglyphs, on slides, and they had a very extraordinary way of representing it. I liked it very much. And they had a super trade fair also. In Austria, we were also doing a congress. We have, our club is small, 40 people, 15 of which are active people. But we had two very big highlights. The first was our stereo companion, Christopher Schneeberger, married his girlfriend Erika in the castle where we had our congress. And the second was the Fuji camera for the first time was presented here, because there was the German fair in Hanover, and then they came along and presented for us the Fuji camera. This was something really exciting for us stereoscopic people. And the first and only Asian Congress in Busan. Like you see here in the left-hand corner, you see Barry Rothenstein. He does here a workshop about how to make a phantogram. And on the other side, you see some of the chaps in behind the skyline of Busan, and on a trip also in the mountains. Now I want to introduce also the people who stand behind the organization, like the financials are very important for our club, and Alexander Klein, you might know him because he is a big collector of stereoscopic equipment. He is the treasurer and webmaster of the ISU, and Bernard Moindre, the French ISU country rep, is acting as the secretary of the ISU. How do you become a member? There are 3 different types of members in the ISU. There is the individual member, like me in person, or club members, like my club, the Austrian club is also a member, and also companies are members, like Fuji or other companies. And how much does it cost? It costs a fee of $20 a year. And this is not much, but you get a very nice stereoscopy journal, and you have all the possibility within the community and the network. And on the next page you see Matej Pohach. Matej is the Congress manager of the Congress, which should have taken place already, but it has to be postponed because of the COVID. And he and his people, they made a very nice video about the historic site Česky Krumlov, where this Congress will take place from September 13th to September 19th. And I will now Vanessa ask, please be so kind to start the video of the Czech group for Česky Krumlov.
The International Stereoscopic Union and the Czech Stereoscopy would like to invite you to the 23rd World Congress, which will take place in the town of Česky Krumlov. Česky Krumlov is located about 200 kilometers south of Prague, the capital of Czechia. The whole region of Central Europe is renowned for its rich cultural history, and Česky Krumlov, the UNESCO heritage site, is among the most pristine examples of a medieval setting, where the original Gothic architecture richly blends with later Renaissance and Baroque styles. Located in a picturesque hilly landscape, the arrangement of the town has changed little since the ancient times. The town is formed around several tight bends of the venerable Vltava River, which the Germans call the Moldau. The rugged scenery offers a surprising number of breathtaking views and photographic opportunities. The castle is unusually large for a town of this size. A tour through the interiors is a spectacular excursion into the history of the nobles. A real rarity is a preserved Baroque theatre with authentic stage machinery. The Seidel photo studio, carefully restored and turned into a museum, is a place no photography enthusiast should miss. Come to experience what the craft of photography was like in the times of our grandparents. Unfortunately, they only have one stereoscope on display. The Congress venue will be in the beautiful historic building of the Town Theatre, right in the city centre. There's a magnificent view from the lobby and the adjacent terraces, where you can sip coffee when the projector ends. The excursions will take you to various sites in the region, including cultural and technical monuments and natural settings. The nearby Budweis brewery, origin of the world-famous beer, will definitely be on the schedule. And if you haven't been there before, don't forget to reserve a couple of days before or after the event for a visit to Prague, the capital, one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yes, the people of organizing this Congress in Česky Krumlov, the Czech people, are very, very knowledgeable in stereoscopic photography, and they very much would like to have a nice audience there, and they have provided a nice area in this old and historic town Česky Krumlov. You can see on the homepage 2021. You can see the how you can go to Česky via Prague or Vienna or wherever you are coming from. I want to say some words also about COVID, because this is one thing which all interests us most, to stay healthy and also to be able to travel. I have here some numbers. about COVID in Europe. At the moment we have the Omicron and all the numbers are going up. However, the infections are not so heavy. Nevertheless, the countries like Austria and some others, they want to have the whole population vaccinated. And so does the Czech Republic. The Austrians started now to do all the vaccination for people over 18, and the Czech Republic, they start on 1st of May for all people over 60 years. And now let us look at the chart, how the COVID infection was behaving in the last 2 years. You see here at the beginning of the chart July, this is June, this is June 2020, and then you have some highs and the low again wieder in July until October 21. So what we think is that the behavior will, even if it is not going away or diminishing drastically, that we will have this window in summer and beginning of autumn, so it will be safe to travel. And of course we are interested in a very safe Congress. Having a Congress is very interesting also for the tourist manager. And I took the opportunity 2 years ago, and I was talking to Mr. Hinze. He is the manager of the tourism in Česky Krumlov, and he is very keen in supporting us to have a nice and smooth Congress, even when COVID is not or still there. So let me please tell you, it would be nice to see you. It would be nice if you consider to be a member of the ISU community, and it would be very nice if we could see each other. And I shall bring you the best regards also from the Congress manager, Mate Bohac. He will do everything to make a smooth and nice Congress and a smooth and nice holiday for you in Česky Krumlov. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and feel free to ask any questions. Hope to see you in Česky Krumlov.